The story of Matt Rife and his surprising purchase of the Warrens' infamous Conjuring property is one of those tales that sounds like the start of a horror movie. A young comedian at the height of his career suddenly becomes the guardian of one of the most haunted collections in the world. It almost feels like a publicity stunt, but Rife himself insists that this move is about passion, preservation, and the thrill of taking on something that merges history, pop culture, and the paranormal. In this video, we'll break down what exactly Matt Rife bought, how much he paid, when it all happened, and what his plans are for the house and museum that inspired the Conjuring films. To understand the importance of this purchase, you first need to know the background. Ed and Lorraine Warren were two of the most famous paranormal investigators in American history. Throughout the 20th century, they documented cases of hauntings and possessions, some of which became the basis for blockbuster movies like The Conjuring, Annabelle, and The Nun. Their Connecticut home doubled as the Warrens' Occult Museum, a small but chilling collection of more than 700 haunted artifacts gathered from their investigations. Among these relics sits the Annabelle doll, the very same doll that inspired the hit horror franchise. For decades, curious visitors came to the museum for a glimpse of the supernatural. But in 2019, local zoning laws and safety concerns forced the museum to close, leaving fans disappointed and the artifacts sealed away from the public eye. Fast forward to August 2025, and Matt Rife, along with YouTuber Elton Casti, shocked fans by announcing that they had purchased the Warrens' home and taken legal guardianship of the entire collection. Rife explained that this wasn't some random investment or a casual side project. For him, the Warrens' property is one of the most important and prominent pieces of paranormal history in the world, and he felt a responsibility to preserve it. The deal was finalized in early August, and along with ownership of the house itself, Rife and Casti became official caretakers of the museum's haunted items, including Annabelle, under a 5-year guardianship agreement. One of the biggest questions people asked immediately was, how much did he pay? Here's where the details get tricky. Rife has not revealed the exact purchase price, and the Warrens family has kept quiet as well. However, real estate listings suggest the Monroe, Connecticut, property alone would sell for somewhere between $550,000 and $680,000. When you factor in the cultural and historical value of the museum collection, not to mention the rights to host events and tours, some estimates suggest the deal could be worth around $1 million or more. It's clear that whatever the figure, this wasn't a small investment. For a comedian in his 20s, Rife took a leap into territory most entertainers would never even consider. So why take the leap at all? Rife has been open about his fascination with the paranormal. Long before this purchase, he spoke about his love for horror movies, ghost stories, and especially the Conjuring universe. By stepping into the shoes of caretaker for the Warrens' legacy, he positioned himself not just as a celebrity cashing in on a novelty, but as someone who sees value in protecting and sharing this history with fans around the world. He described the museum as a treasure of cultural importance and hinted that his vision involves bringing it back to life for the public, rather than letting it fade into obscurity. What does that vision look like? According to announcements, Rife and Casti want to reopen the museum for public tours, something that hasn't been possible since 2019. They plan to offer guided experiences where people can learn about the Warrens' cases, see the haunted objects up close, and immerse themselves in the chilling stories behind each item. Beyond that, Rife has floated the idea of overnight stays, where guests can spend the night in the Conjuring house and, if they're brave enough, see whether they encounter anything unusual. He has also hinted at streaming events, collaborations with paranormal investigators, and even potential partnerships with filmmakers. In short, the plan is not just to preserve the museum, but to transform it into an interactive experience that appeals to horror fans, history buffs, and thrill seekers alike. The timeline is fairly straightforward. The museum closed its doors in 2019. On August 1st, 2025, Rife and Casti announced they had finalized the deal. Now, in the months to come, they'll need to work with town officials, outline their plans, and prepare the property for tours and stays. The guardianship agreement for the haunted collection runs 5 years, which means by 2030, the Warrens family and Rife will need to decide whether to extend, renew, or transfer the responsibility. At the end of the day, Matt Rife's purchase of the Conjuring house and the Warrens Museum represents more than a quirky celebrity headline. It's a bridge between Hollywood horror and real-life paranormal history, and it opens the door for fans to experience the haunted world of the Warrens in ways they haven't been able to for years. Whether the project thrives or struggles will depend on how well Rife and his team handle the legal, financial, and community hurdles ahead. But one thing is certain: This move has cemented Matt Rife as more than just a comedian. He's now a caretaker of one of the most famous haunted legacies in the world. And if all goes according to plan, visitors might soon find themselves face to face with Annabelle once again.